Students, last time we have finished with the unit number 3, that was on work study, and in which we have seen method study and the time study, the work measurement. The next unit is unit number 4, that is on standards of measurement. So this is syllabus for unit number 4, that is standards of measurements, then line standards, end standards, wavelength standards, then there are limit fits and gauges, the terminology in limits, then fits and gauges, then concept of interchangeability, selective assembly, then allowance, tolerance, then Indian standards of limits of fits, Indian standard specification for limits, fits and gauges, limit gauging, and design of go and no go gauges. So this included in the unit number 4. So we'll start with the standards of measurement. Now, what is metrology? These particular 3 units are on the measurement. Means the devices used for measurement and everything regarding the science of measurement. Now, metrology, the word is derived from the Greek metron, that is measure, and logos, that is study of measurement. Metrology is study of measurement or science of measurement. So we can see metrology is the science of measurement. So our subject is nothing but the production technology, where earlier it was known as MQC, that is measurement and quality control. So quality control part we have already seen in section A. Now we are going to see the metrology, that is science of measurement. So it is nowadays known as production technology. So for engineering purposes, metrology is restricted to measurement of length and angle and the quantities which are expressed in linear or angular terms. So metrology is nothing but measurement of length and angles as in case of engineering or as far as engineering is depend. Now next is standard of measurement. Now it is standard. So a standard is defined as something that is set up and established by an authority as rule of the measurement of quantity, weight, extent, value or quality. Now for everything there is some standard specified by some authority. Now we can take an example of length. So length in British standards it is measured in yards. In metric standards it is measured in meters. So yard is that standard is set, and an yard is preserved in somewhere in say Geneva, say Paris or Geneva, somewhere international standards are that offices are there, that are preserved, that are made up of platinum, iridium, and they are preserved there, which is taken as a reference for the measurement all over the world or across the world. So the yard or a meter can be the length equal to that standard. So that standard is defined or specified by some authority. For example, meter is a standard established by an international organization for measurement of length. So when we are talking of length, we come across meters, centimeters, millimeters, kilometers, like this, decimeters. So that international organization has set that length. So the role of standard is to achieve uniform, consistent and repeatable measurements. So whenever we want something to be manufactured, so we have to put certain specifications, and that requires certain measurements. So that measurements are standard all over the world. When 1 meter in India is same as 1 meter in US or UK or anywhere in the world. So how we are referring this, how we are defining this, so that standards are internationally set and they are followed across the world. The National Bureau of Standard or Indian has the primary responsibility for maintaining this standard in the United States. In India, Indian Standard Institutes ISI New Delhi has all the standard measurements. To monitor the standard of measurements, the same institute issues instruction to put ISI mark on measuring instruments. So a length equal to 1 meter, if it is say recommended by ISI, then it is authorized. So measuring instrument and items, so that these may be compared with the non-standard ones. So in the measurement system, a length can be measured in terms of meter and a numerical constant. Thus, a 10 meter length means a length 10 times greater than a meter. So this is very obvious that when we are talking about 10 meter, 5 meter, 100 meter, so it is 100 times, 100 meter is 100 times length of a meter. So these things are preserved in the offices, at the apex offices, national say, or international standards bureau, or say Indian standard of that ISI, we can say, where these are preserved. But nowadays they are outdated. We are going to see in detail. Then these are the some things shown. Round bar is shown where the end standard is given. Then international prototype meter is there. This is the H shaped cross section. It is preserved somewhere else in the world, say in Paris, I think, and it is a S shape uh, say bar, which is made up of platinum iridium, and the dimensions are that divisions are engraved on this, and it is preserved as a standard. So we can say these are the primary standards which are of prime importance and preserved somewhere else in the apex offices. So imperial standard yard is there. It is square in shape, cross section wise. 1 yard. How much is 1 yard? It is made up of platinum and it is preserved somewhere. Then meter, uh, then Elizabeth yard is there. Then Henry VII yard is there, which is octagonal in shape. So this type of standards are set and they are preserved to be referred as standard across the world, and it is made up of such alloy, say platinum and iridium alloy, which is where the oxidation is not possible, and it is having certain constituents, or that structure is that over a longer period of time, hundreds of years, it won't get deteriorated. Then this is international prototype standard. As we can see, this standard was established for the meter. It is established in the year 1875 by International, or IBWM, that is International Bureau. The prototype is made up of platinum iridium alloy, 90% platinum and 10% iridium, that alloy, having a cross section shown in the figure, that is H shape, and the divisions are made here. You can see where the length is given, and we can see these standards are preserved somewhere else. But nowadays these are outdated, as there comes a wavelength standard. So material standard means whatever material we are using for getting a standard, a meter or a yard, these are subjected to errors because of the continuous use, because of the wear and tear, or because of some environmental reactions, and hence these wavelength standards are used. What is wavelength? It is the light source, or the speed of light, we can say, or the wavelength of a light, like cadmium, krypton, or hot cathode discharge lamps. So according to this, 1 meter is 165,07623.73 into wavelength of krypton 86. So this type of standards are developed, and these wavelength standards are used nowadays, where we material cannot be preserved over a say indefinite time, or we can say over a longer period of time, they are subjected to wear and tear, and hence this we cannot say light cannot dispose or light cannot vanish. So we can use everywhere, anywhere in the world, it remains same. No atmospheric say reaction can happen on that, and it remains same all over the world. Wherever you go, you can get this same standard. So the monochromatic light have also gives constant wavelength, and since the wavelength is not of a physical one, it need not to be preserved. So there is no need of preserving it. It can whenever we want to use it, we can have that. So advantages of this wavelength standards is length does not change. So there is no say effect of the temperature or any atmospheric condition. So it won't change. Then reproduce easily if destroyed. So if it is destroyed, then it can be reproduced very easily. Then it is easily accessible to any physical laboratories. Higher accuracy than material standards. Material standards are subjected to wear and tear and deterioration over a period of time. So this we can overcome with the help of wavelength standards. Then they reproduce consistently at any time, at any place. So we can have that. So meter as of today, if we measure it in say with the help of light, the meter is the length of the path traveled by light in vacuum during a time interval of this much of 1 second. So 1 by 299792458 of 1 second is the time required to travel for the light by a distance of 1 meter. So we can, so light travels a distance of 1 meter in this much seconds, 1 by this much of a second. So this we can standardize and we can have that. Then we can subdivide these standards as primary standards, secondary standards, tertiary standards, and working standards. So what are primary standards? They are the material standard preserved under most careful conditions, which are taken as the reference all over the world. A meter, how much should be a meter? So that meter is specified on some material, such as we have seen that it can be of platinum iridium, which is say most long lasting or everlasting material, of which the meter or a yard is made up of, and it is preserved somewhere else in the apex offices and can be taken as reference all over the world. So they are the material standards preserved under the most careful conditions. So we can say the temperature is maintained there, then humidity is not allowed there. So everything, the ambient conditions of the atmosphere should not get affect that particular material. So all the controlled environment is there to preserve that. So these are not used directly for measurement. These are not used for measurement. These are preserved as standards, but are used once in 10 or 20 years for calibrating the secondary standards. So to calibrate a secondary standard, this can be used over a say 10 years or 20 years. Then again that primary standard can be used for calibrating the secondary standards. So example, international prototype meter, imperial standard yard. So this meter and an yard is stored somewhere else or preserved somewhere else and can be taken as for the reference for calibrating the secondary standards. Secondary standards, these are the close copies of primary standards with respect to design, material, or length. This is just copy of primary standard. Any error existing in this standard is recorded by comparison with primary standards after a long interval, 10 years, 20 years. These are kept as a number at a number of places under great supervision and serve as reference for tertiary standards. So these are kept at number of places all over the world. Secondary standards. Primary standards are just kept at one place, and they can be used for the reference or say to calibrate the secondary standard. And secondary standards are the copies of primary standards, can be stored all over the world at many places, but it should be under great supervision as they are taken as reference for the tertiary standard. These these also acts as safeguard against the loss or destruction of primary standards. So secondary standards also acts as safeguard or a backup against the loss or destruction of primary standards. Then the working standards. These are the standards which are similar in design to primary, secondary or tertiary standards. But being less in cost and made of low grade materials, they are used for general application of metrology laboratories, in metrology laboratories. Tertiary standards are the reference standards employed by national physical laboratories and are the first standard to be used for reference in laboratories and workshops. Tertiary standards, and they are close copies of secondary standards and kept as a reference for comparison with working standards. So tertiary standards, working standards are the things which we are using in the laboratories or in the workshop with the reference to the tertiary standards, which are preserved in some labs or uh, at some reference point. Secondary standards are these standards which are preserved at many places around the world, taken as reference to calibrate the tertiary standards. And secondary standards are the copies of primary standards which are unique and preserved at some headquarters at Geneva or Paris, like that. So they are these standards. So primary, secondary, tertiary and working standards. Then next is line standard and end standard. What is line standard and what is end standard, that we are going to see. When the length being measured is expressed as the distance between two lines, we have seen a scale where we get say the length in millimeter or in centimeter. How much is 1 millimeter? It is the distance between that two divisions, that two lines. So it is nothing but a line standard. So when the length being measured is expressed as the distance between two lines, then it is called as line standards. Examples: measuring scales or yard. As in British, they measuring it in yard, furlongs, feet, inches. These are the British standards. Then kilometers, then meters, centimeters, decimeters, uh, millimeters. These are the metric system, we can say, international metric system. British standards are miles, furlongs, yards, feet. As the India was ruled by the British countries, earlier we used to talk it as uh, in miles. किती मैलावर आहे किंवा किती फर्लॉंग डिस्टन्स आहे किंवा किती यार्ड आहे, फीट. Nowadays also we used to measure the distance in feet. किती फूट आहे, 10 फूट आहे, 15 फूट आहे, आपण म्हणतो 12 इंची, 6 इंची ही स्केल आहे. ती 30 सेंटीमीटर असते. 12 इंची स्केल ती 30 सेंटीमीटर असं नाही आपण ओळखत त्याला, म्हणत आपण म्हणतो 12 इंची स्केल, कारण आपल्या डोक्यात ते मेट्रिक जी ब्रिटिश स्टँडर्ड्स आहेत ते फिट बसलेले आहे, ॲज द इंडिया वॉज रूल्ड बाय द ब्रिटिश गव्हर्मेंट. सो ब्रिटिश स्टँडर्ड्स are used by the Britain or the British, and nowadays worldwide we are using metric system. So measuring scale, yard or the meter, these are the end line standards. Sorry. So line standard is the distance between two lines, means it can be millimeter, two divisions. The lines, the divisions are shown by the lines. So we say that the length is 1 centimeter. How we get? We get the line for 0 and we get the line for 1. So distance between that 0 and 1 is coinciding with the divisions of 0 and 1, and we can say that the distance is 1 centimeter. Then characteristics are actually engraved, but it is difficult to take the full advantage of its accuracy. Now we take the distance between two lines, two divisions, but it cannot be very accurate, but it is quick and easy to use line standard, where on the leading ends results in undersizing. So that meter or yard, that is the physical instrument we all the time using, and it is subjected to wear and tear, so that may lead to what? Undersizing. Then subject to parallax error or इफेक्ट, म्हणजे आपण जेव्हा रीडिंग घेतो डोळे एखाद्या वेळेस आपल्याला ते रीडिंग घेताना एरर येऊ शकतं. So no convenient for close tolerance length measurements. So if tolerances are given in millimeters, then it can be very difficult to have a perfect accurate reading with the meter or that particular standard, line standard. When the length being measured is expressed as a distance between two parallel faces, then it is called as end standards. As we can see, slip gauges. If you want to get the spark plug जो असतो, स्पार्क प्लग पाहिला असेल तुम्ही, त्याची गॅप ती किती असली पाहिजे हे काही आपण स्केलनी मोजत नाही. त्याच्यासाठी स्लिप गेज येतात, गेजेस असतात. ते स्लिप गेज आपण त्याच्यात घालून पाहतो, आणि ते जर त्याच्यातून फ्रीली जाऊ येऊ शकलं किंवा ते जर त्याच्यात थोडंसं टाईट झालं तर आपल्याला माहीत पडते की त्याची ती गॅप किती आहे, किती असली पाहिजे. सो व्हेनेवर वी मेजर द डिस्टन्स बिटवीन टू फेसेस, as we can say slip gauges, gap gauges, or micrometer anvil. So micrometer anvil, that is nothing but we used to get the distance between two faces, and that are known as end standards. So we can say that they are highly accurate. These are accurate because once you put the gauge into two faces, there is no need of taking the reading just to see whether it is going in or not. So we can say that it is highly accurate and are well suited for measurement of close tolerances as small as 0.0005 mm. So this is we can say more accurate than line standard, but it is time consuming in use and prove only one dimension at a time. So we can just measure only one dimension at a time. Then subjected to wear, as the faces are to be measured, it will come in contact and will subject it to wear. The accuracy of both line and end standards are affected by temperature change. So when the ambient temperature changes, we can say that it will affect the measuring standards, a line standards and end standard, and will definitely lead to some fault or some sort of inaccuracy in the measurement. Next is, this is regarding the standards of measurements. Next is limits, fits and tolerances. Now what is limit, fits and tolerances, that we'll see. We have seen that whenever we are talking about the manufacturing, then we have to see whether the things are manufactured within the limits or not. So it is well known, or we can say the fact is everywhere. We can see that no two things in the nature, दोन कोणत्याही गोष्टी निसर्गातल्या या सारख्या असू शकत नाही, किंवा वी कॅन से दॅट टू थिंग्स इन दी नेचर कॅनॉट बी कॅन बी आयडेंटिकल, बट दे मे बी फाउंड विथ टू बी क्लोजली सिमिलर. म्हणजे त्या सारख्या असू शकतात, पण आपल्याला डोळ्यांनी ते दिसते की त्या सारख्या, पण त्या सारख्या कधीच नसतात. देर आर सर्टन व्हॅरिएशन्स, अँड फॉर दॅट this comes in the picture limits, fits and standards. So limit, fits and tolerances. As we have seen, there are the three elements which are necessary, or the combination of three elements is necessary to produce something. Or whenever we are talking of a process, then three elements or combination of three elements comes in the picture, that are man, machine and the material. And whenever we are doing something, whenever we are carrying out the process, then they are subjected to some variations that already we have seen, that variations are always there in the size of the component, in the shape of the component, because we cannot say that everything is mass production if we are going out, and we cannot say that the production is uh, all identical or same. There will be some variation in every single product, because everything machine is subjected to wear and tear. Material received or raw material used can be different all the time. The man or the labor or the operator who is operating the machine can be different, and cannot be all the 8 hours of shift he cannot work with the same efficiency. So these type variations will be always there, and it cannot be controlled, that already we have seen. And hence the tolerances are given. Tolerances are nothing but the allowed value, that we'll see in the detail. These terms are related to dimensions of precise parts. In engineering, mostly they are assembly of components of parts. We know that the any equipment or a machine, if we are producing, then that machine or that equipment is assembly of lot of parts, and that parts are to be assembled together to form a form an equipment. To assemble components together, the sizes of the component must be controlled to make sure that they fit together correctly, otherwise the assembly will not function properly. So whatever assembly we are manufacturing, that machine, then there are a lot of components to be assembled together to form a machine or an equipment, and if they are not fitting properly, then we cannot say that it will function properly. So exact size of component parts is impossible to achieve. So we cannot say that all the time we will produce uh, that part to the mean value. Then the the variation will be always there, and there are so many reasons that already we have seen, that what are the reasons of variation. But exact size of the component is impossible to achieve or to produce. Hence, boundaries within which deviation is allowed, but still the design intent is fulfilled, are established to enable interchangeability of component during assembly. What is interchangeability? That we'll see in detail, because we'll have to see the interchangeability concept. Then next is terminology. What terminology we are using in limit, speeds and gauges while studying this metrology? First is hole. Now hole is regarding the internal sizes or the cavities or the hollowness. Holes, all internal sizes or dimensions are featured of a component, including those which are not cylindrical, are designated as hole. So it may be square or it may be some rectangular cavity inside, but that will be termed as hole, HOLE. So example, cylinder bore is the hole. Bush ID can be a hole. Shaft is all external sizes or dimensions or features a component, including those which are not cylindrical, are designated as shaft. It can be a piston, or it can be a bush outer diameter OD. It is nothing but a shaft. So everything which is externally to be used to get assembled in the assembly are known as shaft. So this is the diagram for the hole and the shaft. So here we can see the hole is shown, then there is the tolerance given, the upper limit and lower limit is given. What is that? That we will see in detail. Then shaft is there, the tolerance is given. So this is the symbol for the shaft, this is the symbol for the hole. So whenever we want to represent a external surface, we'll have to represent the shaft, and whenever we are representing the internal surface, we will represent the hole. So we'll see this in detail in the next video.